Hello and welcome. I realized that Joanna's guide has you, as a warlock, go into Elwyn Forest and go and get your voidwalker and then just go back to Stormwind. And there's a couple of things at least that you want to do as well as that while you're here. Presumably, Joanna's guide was built as a multi-class guide and she's just added the class quest in. But there's a little quest loop you can do in Elwyn for probably an extra level that you'll get here that's really easy and really quick, um, especially for a warlock. And also, since you're in in Elwyn, sorry, right over at this side anyway, Joanna's going to tell you to run all the way through Elwyn Forest later on to get to Redridge. Whoops. Try not to get myself killed. And tell my imp to follow me. So you may as well go along to Redridge and get the flight point now, like Joanna's guide tells you to do for humans. Oh, not scaled out my map. So first of all, we're heading down. We've got our Voidwalker quest from Stormwind, from the downstairs in the bar in the Mages District. So we're just going to Goldchar, and there's a few quests we want to get here. I think that the test, you only really need to test 1 to 19, because even if you get caught in the Zerg after 19, if you can't get your quest done, you can just go and do instances. So get Elmore's Task, that's a quest that hands in Stormwind, and then you're doing another quest in Loch Modan shortly, where the follow-up hands in. Then if you go and speak to Remy 2 times, and take a Fishy Peril, and then hand it into Marshal Dugan here, and you get a follow-up. Oh, did I take the follow-up? Yeah. Sorry, I've got an auto-accept quest thing, so it can't necessarily see when it takes the quest. And then we're heading straight along here, along the main path. Sorry, somebody just said, to Max Leia, okay dude, don't freak out, but there seems to be a serious problem with your stream delay. Seeing gameplay from 2004 over here. Yeah. Although, not in Europe, we only got it in 2005. But unfortunately, fortunately, it's coming back. So having efficient quest loops is the way forward. And I think most people that are looking for a guide for leveling up are going to end up finding Joanna's guide. And as a warlock, having a little sassy extra bit is going to help. Being a little bit over leveled actually helps as a warlock, because you can pull more mobs at a time. I don't remember this weather being this severe, but maybe it's because I've got a modern graphics card and I'm playing an old game. But yeah, I don't remember weather effects in vanilla at all. What's the Google Doc? Is that somebody else's guide? It's a long walk along this road, but you have to wander along. See, that green dot is where the Warlock quest is anyway, and that's where the quest we're going to is. Oh, it's a Warlock guide for leveling up all the way. Cool. I know there's a Warlock add-on called Necrosis, which is supposed to help you with soul shard management and keeping your dots up and things like that. Oh, 1 to 22, nice. Oh, I'll have a look at it later. I've got a couple of links to look at. But that's the thing. As long as you can level quickly from 1 to 18ish, then if you can get into a dungeon, if your server is utterly swamped and you can't get any mobs anywhere, then you can go and do Deadmines runs until you get to Stockade, and then do Stockade. Oh, no, until you get to Blackfathom Deeps, and then do Blackfathom Deeps runs until you get to Stockade, and then do Stockade runs until you get to Gnomergan, I think. And then do Gnomergan runs until you get to Scarlet Monastery undead graveyard thingy. which you don't normally do as Lance, but it fills in the gap if you're having to level up through dungeons. And private servers have the XP in dungeons. So yeah, that's the quest I got from Gulcher, handing that in and getting all the quests from him. And then we're heading up to the Eastvale Logging Camp. How many runs have I done now? Loads. I don't know. I've been doing it every day for the past several weeks. Not specifically on Warlock. It was yesterday somebody was on and they were asking about Warlock speed runs. And so I thought I'd do one today. Also, I worked out when I was doing my 24-hour stream for charity, I worked out this extra loop that that's better than Joanna's guide, or you can do when you're doing in the middle of Joanna's guide, which just means you get extra free XP since you're here anyway. So you grab that quest, which is Red Linen Goods, which is exactly where the Voidwalker quest is. Grab this quest, Bundle of Trouble, which is picking up logs just up here. So I've got, from the guard there, I've got a quest to kill prowlers and young forest bears. Prowlers hit absurdly hard on private servers, but they don't hit very hard at all on live, so should be fine. Also, as a warlock, you don't really care if mobs hit that hard, because it's going to be on your imp for most of the time, and it's going to die pretty quickly anyway. But if you're doing this as a warrior or a rogue on a private server, they suck, whereas on live servers, they'll be totally fine. It's just going to die from dots. So you've got to kill 8 prowlers, 5 forest bears, get 8 stacks of wood, or 8 bundles of wood. The bundles of wood are just round the trees here. And we're heading diagonally up towards this lake, because over here is the hand-in for the Lost Guards, which is an entire quest and it just involves handing in, and has a follow-up right beside it. I'm going to use the stress test tomorrow to test my add-ons, and then I'm going to do Azeroth Autopilot. I want to test what guide they are using for their guides to see if it's as efficient as the speedruns, which it probably won't be, but I want to test it. So we'll do a 1 to 15 with that. Then I'm going to do a 1 to 15 speedrun as a druid, then possibly a 1 to 15 speedrun as a warlock. I don't know, because there's the Azeroth Autopilot for the downloads for it. Somebody said that there were loads of people asking what guide's this based on. Oops. Oh, that was close enough to blow that wolf. And nobody responded, so we'll have a look and see what it's like. That's true, Azeroth Autopilot. Yeah, but tomorrow we'll try it just to see if it's a good guide or not. But the scary thing is if it follows the proper speed leveling guides or speed leveler routes, if everyone's following that, it could be interesting. I imagine it won't matter that much if you, because I think a lot of people are going to be heading for. I assume Azeroth Autopilot is not going to send you to Westfall, and I imagine most people will want to do dead mines. So most people will be, no matter what race they are, heading for Westfall to get the dead mines quests. So you'll probably still be okay with it, because any. I've never used it before. I know it exists in live, but so just killing a couple of there's more. You don't need to kill all the prowlers and wolves now because you get more farther down. Min-max, yeah. Everyone goes to speed leveler. All speed levelers will be going to Darkshore and not dead mines. You don't have to skip dead mines though. You can do dead mines. You just want to do the quests in Darkshore and not. You just skip the Van Cleef quest, which has a really nice reward for most classes. Druids don't care that much about it, particularly if you're doing dead mines multiple times. Because Black and Defias chest is better for druids than Tunic of Westfall. And Staff of Westfall is really nice, but you can live without it. So yeah, you just hand into that and you get another quest to go and hand it over here. And then there's some, on private servers, the pools here are seriously antisocial, but they're probably much easier on live servers. We'll have to see. Generally, you can break up camps and pool them separately on live servers. Whereas on private servers they tend to all come as a lump. But there's techniques for getting past that anyway, so I'll use some of them now, because quest hand in is just round here, so I'm gonna have to clear the camp anyway. Just take this prowler. Isn't the main benefit of Dead Mines the ring, the chain that ends in stockades? Yeah, but you don't need to do the head of Van Cleef for that. That's just a letter that drops from Van Cleef himself. So as long as you clear Dead Mines, you'll get that quest done. And there's another quest, red silk bandanas, I think, that you just pick up, and you can. Oh yeah, and underground assault. Those two quests. Right, so I'm going to send my imp to get that mob. It's going to pull three mobs with it. I'm going to send my imp back towards me. Once it's close enough, casting a dot on it, and then running away. So the other mobs are going to de-aggro. They de-aggro a lot faster on not a private server. And I've just got that mob. That is how warriors do a lot of leveling. So it's a technique. If you're going to play warrior or rogue, that's because having an ad as a warrior or rogue really sucks and really slows down your leveling speed. So knowing that you can do that, well, you don't send your imp, but you throw something or shoot something with a warrior. Oh, it didn't aggro. Oh no, it did aggro. That was weird. It didn't show it was targeting the imp. Oh, it's only one of them. Oh no, there's two of them. Okay, fine. We'll just take two. Just get it dotted up. What? Oh, sending my pet to attack instead of casting dots. I'll just fear this up because we're far enough away that no matter how far it fears, it's not going to pull more Warlocks. If your feared mob runs past something that's the same species, they'll both pull. But if it runs past something of another species, it won't pull. So pull this far back from the Murloc camps, it's not gonna get in there. And we'll get in here. Quest hand in. Do you know what they're doing with? Do we know that they're doing this aggro tagging in Classic? I don't know what aggro tagging is. Like they 100% should, because that how. Oh no, you have to tag. You have to do damage to gain aggro, to gain the tag. So if you cast an instant cast dot on something, it won't tag until the dot ticks, because that's how it worked in vanilla. I assume that's how it's going to work in Classic. But yeah, that was something they changed at some point in WoW, which made WoW better. But you know, there's people who want no changes. If I rolled Warrior for PvE and PvP, would you say that's a strong choice? Like in Live, I'm a Mythic Raiding Gladiator, so I do both aspects of the game and level. I'm just so torn what to play. After you saying Shadow Priest is pretty useless in raiding scene, and the problem with playing Warrior is that most guilds are going to have 7 or 8 warriors in them, so getting gear in a raid is going to suck. Warriors are great in PvP if you've got a healer, but they're not fantastic if you don't have a healer, and they're really prone to getting kited. So playing a Gnome Warrior really helps with that, because you can escape artist out of Frost Nova things. And also, PvPing with your Warrior will really help, because it supplements your DPS gear for raiding as well. Oh sorry, I need 8 Murloc fins, so we're going to need to kill a bunch more Murlocs. Oops. But yeah, warriors are fantastic in every aspect of the game, except anything solo. So they suck at leveling, they suck at farming, but aside from that, they're awesome. And as soon as you get gear, they get ridiculously scary at everything. You could never play a gnome. Okay, well, gnomes are the best warriors for PvP for Alliance. Orcs are, if you be an orc on Horde, and you want to PvP, you should be an orc. Because the orc racial is the best racial in the game for PvP. How did you just heal? Wow, that was a mess. Yeah, I need that not to aggro on me ever. Actually, let's bandage. If you bandage while you're in combat, it produces healing aggro to you, so be careful. In vanilla, the reason I rolled a gnome is because I wanted to hear what a female gnome sounded like saying need more rage, because I thought it would be the cutest, most ridiculous thing ever. And then I just fell in love with gnomes from that point onwards. I was full night elf when I started out. Oh yeah, water. They are super cute. Also have a massive PvP advantage, because when there's a whole bunch of people charging towards you, you tend to click on the biggest one. So yeah, Tauren have a bit of a disadvantage, although they do have a bigger hitbox, which helps apparently as melee. Whereas gnomes have an advantage in that case, especially gnome warriors and rogues and things. They're like, click on the damn thing. Although normally use tab if there's only one thing, but then if there's you and anyone else, then it's harder to click on you. So yeah, don't play a Tauren healer. If you're going to play a shaman, play the smallest one you can possibly find. Well, actually play an orc, because orcs can be shaman. And if you're playing in PvP, you want to be an orc. They get 25% or 20 or 25% chance to resist stuns, which is just completely bonkers. Rogues are incredibly powerful in vanilla, and a lot of classes can be taken, in fact every class can be taken from 100% to 0 by a rogue without them having a chance to act, if the rogue is any kind of good and has the right spec. So having a chance to resist their stuns is bonkers good. Whereas Fool of the Forsaken, you get a resistance to fear. And Warlocks are not that popular class, and even less popular. Oh, there's 3 there. I'm probably going to run away. Warlocks are not that popular class, and they're even less popular in Alliance. So I wouldn't worry too much about fear. Priests also have fear, and warriors have fear, but their fears don't last as long. Right, so 30% chance to resist a stun. On somebody was saying it's 25% from hardiness and 5% base for all players, chance to resist a stun. Is that from mobs as well? I don't remember ever having a cheap shot resisted by a player. I would have thought the 5% was just a chance for mobs to resist, but you're probably right. I've not looked into the numbers that much. Of course, yeah, I have had stuns resist, but I was thinking it was only stuns that are spells, so like Hammer of Justice that could be resisted. I don't remember even having a mob resist a charge stun or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. Unfortunately, this drop is... Actually, does it say? 50% drop chance. So you have to kill 16 of them. The drop chances for quests are totally wrong on private servers, so you either have to kill more or less for everything. Generally, you'll have to kill more. but it's not particularly taxing this. I mean, aside from that, I had some reckless pulls earlier, and pulled multiple mobs at once. Oops. Oh, whoa! Why is there two there? I guess they just respawned, or they were a patrol or something. Oh, nice. The other's de-aggroed. Oh, he de-aggroed as well. That's the add-ons I'm using at the moment. I'll redo the list after tomorrow, because I haven't totally decided which add-ons I'm using for Classic, because I don't know what the difference between Monkey Quest and Questy is, so I want to test them. But the stress test is tomorrow, so there's a few add-ons that I want to test. I haven't been able to find Classic versions of Druid Bar, KDM Threat Meter, or Outfitter, or Postal. But apparently you don't need Postal, apparently you can... They've already changed it so you can post 12 items. Oh, blue there. Oh, it was just body aggro that I got them. It wasn't respawns. Oh, that's a respawn though. Okay, let's run away. Finish it off. Quits flip. We'll finish this one off as well. When does Classic start? Classic starts on, depends which country you're in, but if you're at the UK time zone or West, it's the 26th of August. If you're in Central Europe or East, it's on the 27th of August. And it releases the same time everywhere in the world. Based on your time zone, you can work out where it is. It's midnight in Central Europe, and it releases the same time everywhere in the world. When does it start in the UK? It's 11 p.m. on the 26th, and there's a stress test tomorrow at 6. Wait, I think it's 4 p.m. GMT. Or it's tomorrow afternoon. So if you're if you are subscribed to WoW, tomorrow you can play Classic up to level 15, but you won't get to keep your character. However, a lot of us are using it to test what add-ons we want to use to make sure they're working for launch, and to test leveling routes and things like that up to 15. It's Thursday, so it's Wednesday today, so it's Thursday. I'm pretty sure. I can double check. Warcraft Tavern is a nice website for updated 1.0. Okay. Oh yeah, 1.12 add-ons don't work. I've got a spreadsheet with links on it. Give me a second, I'll link it. Classic WoW add-ons. Command C. I should put this on a thing so that when people say add-ons, so you can say classic add-ons. Where the hell's Twitch chat? Twitch chat, there we go. Oh. It's telling me my own chat rules. How many hours from now? I thought it was 36 hours from now. It is 29 hours from now, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's about 29 hours from now. It's about 4 in the afternoon, or 5 or 6 in the afternoon maybe here. So it's first thing in the morning tomorrow in America, I think. Those are all updated, yeah. Some of them are, it says on them whether they're beta or whether they're a finalized version. Oh, I finished the quest. Right. Leave that quest alone. Getting distracted. That's alright. There's like I say, there's a few add-ons that I need that are missing from there, but it's a good place to start. There's no server names been launched announced yet, so but I'll be playing on a RP PvE server. Did you just how come the one that with damage on it de-aggroed and the one without damage on it didn't de-aggro? So I don't know how many RP PvE servers there are going to be, but that's what I'm aiming for. Not that I'm necessarily intending to RP, but if you ever think that you might fancy RPing, then you might as well be on an RP server. Yeah, it's private. There's no servers at the moment until tomorrow, when there's going to be a stress test. So if you're subscribed to WoW, you can play up to level 15, which a lot of us are using to get our add-ons set up to test leveling routes, which is certainly what I'll be doing tomorrow. Just finishing off the quest with the Prowlers and the Young Forest Bears. Young Forest Bears, there's one beside the camp where the Warlock quest is, so you need to kill one less, or even two less, you could probably do it as well. One more. It's Netherguard. It's an Elysium server. But I wouldn't bother. I wouldn't bother trying. If you haven't tried for some private servers in the past, I wouldn't try them now because there's so much different that I don't think that necessarily you'll get if your brain hasn't already been corrupted by the wrong information on private servers. I would avoid getting wrong information by practicing on them. Somebody, well, I don't know for sure. Somebody told me it was level 15. Like half the news I know about WoW is from people telling me in here. Okay, so finished that quest. I'm going diagonally across there to here, where there's the camp for the Warlock quest, for the voidwalker. A lot of the private servers are shutting down, are they? I didn't realise. This one is going for TPC. I guess they realised that their goose is cooked if they don't make something new. But I assume Blizzard, if Classic is successful, will release TBC servers. So I'm not particularly interested on private servers doing them. Hey, I can use a sword now. Let's use a sword. Protect the frontier. Oh, I haven't killed those. And report to Thomas. Oh wait, did I? Oh, I see. So that's the guard medallion from back up there. So that's three quests, basically, for doing nothing. The guard bodies, and there's the last forest bear. It's just in the corner on the way in. Is Druid an easy class in Classic? It's easy. It's easy for leveling. It's one of the hardest classes for PvP. It's a lot harder than Priest to heal, and it's pretty easy to tank with. It's one of the hardest classes to DPS with. Probably the hardest class to DPS with. Well, it depends what you're doing. If you're not going to PvP at all, it's hard work. But it's got the hardest rotation of any DPS class in the game, by far. But that's not saying much, because most DPS classes, like mages, for example, are casting one spell over and over and over. Warlocks as well. But for leveling, it's super easy, and it's pretty safe as well. Um, so, but it's slow. Well, it's fast and slow. It's fast if you know what you're doing, but it's slow at killing things. So just pulling one of them and then running back. Although actually, I can probably take them both. So I've got my imp to do one fireball on that, then running back, and there you go. The other one's de-aggroed. This is the woman that's got your amulet for getting your voidwalker. And she also drops red linen. They also drop red linen bandanas, which are what you need for the quest from Eastvale Logging Camp. So the mobs that you're killing anyway for the Warlock quest help you complete the other quest. So why Joanna's guide doesn't tell you to... I guess because Joanna's a horde player and doesn't know what the Alliance quests are all about. But you're basically getting a free quest done. Or half of a free quest done by doing this anyway. It might actually be worth wandering down and getting the quest to kill Princess, but I'm not 100% sure that's the case. So I'm not advising it. But these quests are definitely worth it if you're here anyway. One more. The stress test is Thursday and Friday. Yeah, it's Thursday for 24 hours. So it's like 9 o'clock if you're in wherever in LA or whatever. It's 9 o'clock in the morning or something like that, which is why it's 4 in the afternoon over here. And then it's for 24 hours, so it's finishing. So yeah, it's overnight for everywhere else in the world, whereas it's a full day for, well, I suppose it's overnight and the morning. Oh, sorry, did somebody... No, Warlock doesn't have Demon Form. They got that in TBC. I missed that question, sorry. You're thinking Resto Druid. Resto Druid is... it's harder than a priest to level up... harder than a priest to heal 5-mans. They're not as good as priests or paladins at healing raids, but you need them anyway, so... I'm just trashing something. So you hand that in, and there's a quest to hand in the logging camp. But thankfully, you're heading in this direction anyway, because you're going to Redridge. So the other problem with druids being your only healer is they don't have a resurrection. Their only resurrection has a 30-minute cooldown, and it's an in-combat resurrection. So if you have 2 people die during a pool in a 5-man, which is actually not unlikely in vanilla. Oh, for God's sake! I should have gone. There's a vendor over there actually. I should have gone to a vendor. Let's Scroll of Protection myself. Trash this. And then get a belt. And a shirt. Is Tuck UK... I've never used Tuck UI or PF UI, so I don't know, I'm afraid, Ral. It's not my spreadsheet, it's somebody else linked it to me. I don't use I use the Blizzard UI. I just put weird bindings in places. Although I don't have it on this server, I've just got really basic bindings. Somebody suggested something really interesting on the stream the other day, which is you can get a USB set of pedals to go under your chair. So you got 3 pedals, and you can set one to shift, one to alt, and one to control. So you can have your bindings and then use a foot pedal to change your bindings to have other bindings. And they're like 20 quid or something like that from Amazon. I'm quite tempted to get one to try out. I should get another webcam as well, so we can have like on this area of the screen we'll have like the foot cam, seeing me moving my pedals. Maybe not. Maybe that's a bit extreme. So we head into Redridge. So yeah, basically that's the quest loop. Head into Redridge, get the quest from Guard Parker, and then get the Griff Point and fly. You hand it in, get the Griff Point and fly back. I'm just getting my imp to attack that, so it's not attacking me. and then I send him out to attack it, and then send him out to follow me, because the mob won't keep up with my imp, whereas it would keep up with me. So take that quest, and we'll hand it in, and then fly from Redridge back to Stormwind, and then hand in, get your voidwalker, and then you're back on Joanna's guide as it was before. Oops, lost my imp. Ranged away from me. Doesn't matter, I'm not pulling anything else. So that's it. So I'll do an outro for YouTube. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more tips, come to twitch.tv/themaxthea, and I'm online like 4 times a week or something. Probably doing a lot of extra streams at the moment because the classic launch is coming up. So you can always follow me to see when I come online. And enjoy.